installed on Chrome, you can see a nice board of everything that we're working on. And if that are missing, or if you have questions about specific things, you can just like add notes, of course. And so what we normally do is like we go through. We don't go through everything because we never have the time, but we just like hop from one on the other, the things that are top of mind, and we see how far we get. And first of all, we always start with a quick check-in, and we're a large group, so let's start immediately. It's just like, what are your intentions for this meeting, and what are your distractions? So my intention is to get energized by seeing all you people, and it's already working. My distraction is not so much, just like I'll be taking some notes, and I give it to Griff.
My intention is just to keep you updated on all the content that's going out really quickly and recently, and not distracted by anything. Now that I finished my grapefruit, I'll pass it to Lorelai.
Thank you. I don't have any particular intentions, just to stay in touch with all. And I'm present here. I'll pass it to Seth.
Cool. My intention is to learn more about what's going on with the comms group and see if there's any area where I could possibly contribute to the growth stack. Yeah, that's all I got.
And then you pick someone else. Yeah. So Josh, maybe?
Well, just checking in really. My intentions are to talk about an article I'm writing, maybe get some input from others. Intense distraction is just Telegram beeping and stuff, but otherwise all good. I'll pass it on to Pazlago.
So hello, my intentions are to get back in touch with you because I've missed a couple of meetings, I think. So I want to feel the positive vibe again. I'm so and I just want to be here, and the distraction is just too much stuff that I have to do and I need to do, and then the days being too short. That's my distraction. And then I pass it to Mr. Michael Roberts.
Thank you very much. My intentions are really just to get back in the loop with everything that's going on, and don't have any distractions right now. And I'll pass it over to Danny.
Hi. My intentions today I feel like there's so much going on with communication right now, and I'm intellectually starving, so I'm eating up all of these podcasts and catching information and then figuring out how I can share it back out through social media. So intersection of communications and funding and app development are what I'm here for. Distraction has got a little bit of a headache today. And I'm really excited to see some new people on the call, especially Seth, since I know what he was able to do for the DAT podcast, and I feel like we could use some of his magic on the comms team. Is there anyone who has not yet gone? Let's see. I see Marco on here. Did you go yet?
Not yet. Thank you.
Great.
Hello, everyone. So it's my first comms call. So my intentions are to actually, get more familiar with what you're doing. Since I'll be helping out with the UX stuff around the Giveth app and the big picture that we talked about yesterday with Michael and you, Danny. So my intentions are actually to be a little bit like fly on the wall and then catch up what you guys will be talking about. So I get more familiar. And distractions, well, I wrote a list of 12. I counted 12 things that I'm working on currently, so I guess that will be a distraction. So otherwise, I'm fine.
Cool.
And I'm really happy to be here. So thank you for having me. So.
Nice. I think we still have Kai.
Yeah, I'm just mildly distracted by surrendering my keyboard to my baby, and she's making notes, so I don't know how great it will be. And let's have a cool meeting. Let's get updated. And thanks everybody for coming.
Great. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Thanks for inviting some extra people, Josh. It's always cool to have a lot of people here. So what we normally do, so we just go through some of the issues on GitHub and we update them. So I'll just start with some things that I see and are top of mind. Quick win, a little thingy is Giveth stickers reprint. That is just because Lansky asked us if we could send them some stickers because they want to put their partners in the boxes, and so Kai, if you wanna do those, that would be amazing. I don't think that we need to change it. I think we can just use the logos that we have, unless there's any thoughts on this.
Sounds good to me.
Cool. Yeah, it's 37 euros for 500 stickers. I don't think we risk a lot with that. Okay, so yeah, Kai, please do go ahead. Then we can send these to Barcelona, where they should go, as far as I know. I'll double check with Lansky. Then I think, yeah, Griff, you added loads of content, but please go ahead because you've been producing content. I've seen it.
Yeah, I did a lot of interviews. I did a Griff Riff last night. I did an Epicenter podcast, which was pretty good. That was all about Giveth. And a short at Cape Town interview, just really short one. And then actually, my favorite, well, maybe not my favorite one, Epicenter is my favorite one, but Simon did the same short interview at Cape Town, and they put my name as his. So, tag me and retweet. It's a good one.
Okay, I'll check that one. Yeah, I retweeted almost all. I didn't retweet the Griff Riff yet because I wanted to give the Epicenter a little bit of attention first, but I'll still retweet that one as well. Oh yeah, there you are, Simon. Okay, cool. So these are out. So they're gonna put it on Reddit as well tomorrow. And I see interview with their broadcaster, Kai. Already thought that sounded German.
Yeah, that's why it looks strange. They're like a startup magazine. Yeah, could be fun. I'm not sure yet if there should be more people than me at the meeting or not. It's the difference if you want to keep it in German. Do we have any other German speakers?
I do, but I don't mind like listening in, but I think I would let you speak. It would be funny. But you can always let me know when you do it. Yeah, if I'm available, I would love to join to just listen to you talk German about Giveth.
I mean, for sure it will be released anyway, but I'll keep you updated.
Sure, cool. Okay. What else do we have?
Yeah, I would love to circle back to my business cards issue from last week. That we're collecting people's information who want to have cards, and please, if you're someone in this meeting right now that's like, I want to give it business cards, if you haven't put your details in the spreadsheet yet, please do so. And that's all. Everything is linked for you. Everything you would need to see or fill out is linked in the GitHub issue for that. And also, I realized that I'm gonna be like totally off the grid in the days the deadline for that. Like, we really need to try to have all the details by like May 5th in order for him to get the order in time. And I was wondering if I could delegate someone else to be a nagger in like the 4 days leading up to that, to just like ping people again and be like, hey, put your details in, put your details in. Because I normally would do that, but I'm gonna be no Wi-Fi.
I'll be that for you, Lorelai.
Thank you, Danny.
Yay, Yeah, I think that also just brings up the point that Jeff, Lorelai, and I will be completely MIA next week. We won't have Wi-Fi, so Africa burn. But it'll be an opportunity for us to promote Giveth to a whole bunch of South African Ethereum people. So it should be good.
Please take some good pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With consent, of course. Cool. Nice.
So I have another topic, and especially since Marco's on the call, it's especially convenient. The Common Stack is making a push for narrative redesign right now, and we have a target audience of just token engineers and DAO governance experts in the Ethereum space. So we're looking to create like kind of an intro presentation, like kind of a slide deck about the Common Stack, and hopefully we'll be finished this week. Abby's working on a consolidated narrative about what we're trying to achieve with that audience in mind, and then we're actually going to try to ask them to donate to this cause and make a series. And so we're wondering if you, Marco, or anyone else wants to help us make it pretty, because we're not good at that.
Yes, I will.
Awesome.
Are we gonna get? Sorry to interrupt. Are we gonna get the narratives from Abby, the drafts or whatever, something like that? Can you hook us up or something, or just point me somewhere? And I'm on Riot, I'm everywhere, so just ping me.
Yeah, I'll tag you in Telegram, and we will. We have an initial slide, set of slides, but they're pretty rough right now. Abby and I and Jeff just got out of a meeting right before this, so now we're kind of rearranging, and probably by hopefully tomorrow around post governance meeting and Friday, we would be able to set up a call and just give a brief rundown.
Okay, what's the deadline?
Deadline would be next week.
Okay, good. Because currently I'm in Split and I'm traveling back on Saturday, so next week will be fine.
Password, did I see you raise your hand to that one as well?
Yeah, I would contribute in any way that I could, like with the writings or anything or slides that you want to create. I would do whatever I can. Just let me know what I can do. But I have this kid who can do graphics for us. He does amazing job just drawing pictures, whatever concept that you have in your mind, in those slides in your narrative. I think he can do an amazing job to make it look prettier for the audience. Just give it just some graphical design inside the slides. I think that would be my best contribution for this one.
Oh, so
did you say that?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Marco.
Yeah, I think I wanted to ask the same question as you. Go ahead.
Who did you say that was? You have a firm that does that?
No, I have a ex-student of mine. I used to teach him English. Now he's this graphic designer that does the great stuff. I think maybe if I get to know the narrative that you're trying to say, he does for every article that I write, he gives me graphics. He designs stuff for me to convey the message better. I think he would really be helpful to do some drawings that he does always and makes it really cool. He's really good at it. You should see some samples.
One thing I'd like to address on this would be co-creation of the narrative. I feel that it's incredibly important as it creates buy-in from all participants. So if we could circle that, I've been working on it myself and trying to socialize it. I'd like more input on that from others, and maybe we can merge a lot, hopefully.
Yeah, and Marco, did you have a comment on that as well?
Yeah, I had a comment regarding the graphic artist student of yours. If we can see some samples of his work, just so we
Sure,
see if
sure.
it matches with his style or whatever and his
What
skills.
he has done so far, I think Josh has seen some. I think Chris has seen some. Griff also. Have you seen those posters that we've designed for Bright ID? That that are neurons that are connecting with each other. They are in the dark.
Not
I would
sure.
share
No.
it with you here. I would share it with you here. It's on Twitter too, and also the latest the article that I have on Medium that Chris suggested that others would review and see if there's any problem with that. There are graphics there that that he has done for me. I will share some of those the posters with you right here. I'll share it here. I'll just have to open my Twitter. Yes, you go on. You go on.
Nice. And just
Yeah.
to address Josh's point. Oh no, sorry, Marco. Keep going.
Oh, my connection was interrupted for some reason. Yeah, you can send me the links on Telegram or share it with me. Definitely helpful if we have a guy who can draw better. I mean, I'm not an artist, so it's definitely a good addition to the team. So more than welcome. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and you could be also, if he does Riot or Telegram, you could add him to the team that we have. But just to follow Josh's note, so there's kind of the overall narrative of a common stack, a reference implementation, and then what we're really looking at is for the building the first support team that's specifically targeted around trying to actually solicit donations from specific people. And I don't think co-creating that narrative is beneficial for executing, unfortunately. However, co-creating the general narrative around what is the common stack, what is the economy around a cause, and that, I feel like there's a lot of value in co-creating that. But for this specific thing, it's like it's time to execute. So it's just it's the diffusion of ownership is not.
Sure, I can recognise that entropy is a bit of a pain in the ass for delivering, for sure. I would like to know more about what's happening here, though.
Yeah. So in general, the narrative that we're looking for on for this ask is around open sourcing CAD, doing robust simulations of a token bonding curve and a governance module that can be forked and used for other projects, as well as, of course, building a economic model around an altruistic cause that actually can interact with the real world through Giveth. So like having that fully simulated and binary open source way, and then on top of that, the people who donate can become part of a whitelist, and that whitelist allows them to be hatchers for future commons, assuming that people want to use this list of hatchers, and that list will be curated by for people that are experts in token engineering or decentralized governance, or people that also build the common stack in general. And those will be the only people on the list, so that they are effectively experts in the tool that is the common stack, so that the people will be willing, the people who fork the reference implementation to deploy a commons, they would want these people on their team because they can help them use the tool. So like that's the general, that's the narrative that we're trying to push. Number one, hey, we're going to bring robust token engineering tools to space so that we can do real design validation and legitimacy with normal engineers from outside the space. And then we'll, number two, create a full example use case of using this tool, is along with graduate level like courses and all this stuff, so that people can really use the tool effectively. And then number three, the actual product that we're building is and that's like the third piece of the pitch, because that's like a risk whether it'll work or not. The main thing is that these people, our audience, will find value automatically in just the work that we do as long as we do it open source. So they'd probably be willing to donate as long as we do it open source and well documented.
So we're raising funds for CAD and a governance module. What was the last bit? There was like 3 or 4 of them, I think. Just for my notes.
Yeah, well, we're raising money for building the project as a whole and open sourcing CAD. So the project as a whole has the token bonding curve, conviction voting, and Giveth redesign all as part of it. And then all of that needs to be simulated by CAD. And so that simulation tool will actually, just the whole process of using simulations within a project has value in itself.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. I'd like to talk to you a bit more about that later, but I can recognize this could get quite deep quite quick. So. And it's communications after all, rather than token engineering. So.
Okay, so I've created an issue for this one as well for the narrative on which you guys are working, and so I've noted that Marco will work on the design and collaborate, and Baslar will send some links to Marco for that.
Sorry, Griff, I'll invite you to Telegram channel of the token engineering people.
Okay, that'd be great.
I just shared some links in the chat box for you to see, and I should tell you that he has done all these, like every one of them took him like half an hour, like 15 minutes. It doesn't take him much time to create these graphics for it, and that's the good points about his work. It's really simple, it's really good, but just give him the concept and I tell him draw me at like for Blank Dao, I told him draw at a region that is fruitful, that is green, that and there is a bank, and then there is a shopping mall, and then after 15 minutes we have these graphics ready. That's cool about it.
Yeah, he has a nice style. He should also definitely join our design team room, so that if there's any other things that we can ping him.
And I think that I also can help you, redesign or redefine your narrative, because someone who is not a native English speaker or someone who's not so much familiar deep in these, phenomenons, I think, I can understand it. You're sure that everyone now understands it. So I think I'm a really good example of someone who would, who would be your audience to try to convince him and make him understand the narrative.
Yeah, I mean, our audience actually is more like me. It's a token engineer. So like we're only looking to talk to like 100 people, and they're all like have been deep in the Ethereum space for a while. So it is a different audience than normal. It's not like outreach to normal people. It's or like people from a normal. We actually have to hit the like technical pieces really well.
I'm not a good example of your audience.
I'm probably maybe, I don't know, but probably not. It's really the nerds that are deep in token bonding curves and like curation markets and stuff like that.
I get the idea. But the token bonding, and that's a question that maybe I have and others know about this. If we have a bonding curve, and then we start issuing tokens, are we getting away from donations and getting into investment now?
Oh, that's probably. Yeah, go ahead.
No, we're gonna say, Chris, is that a little off topic? Should we stay on comms?
Well, you can maybe like give a short summary, but we can definitely also refer to some of the articles we already have out. But I just don't want to talk about it for like half an hour.
Okay, I'll give it a 3-minute summary.
Okay.
So like, Don Adams wrote a great piece about like how PrimeCoin and CureCoin and Namecoin are digital commons. Good. And the general idea is altruism can only get us so far. And if we can actually create an economic model that actually can attribute value to the value that is created when doing good work that isn't normally attributed value in our current economic model, then we can incentivize talented people and normal people to actually do it instead of relying on the kindness of people's hearts. So like CureCoin is mined by the same people that mine Monero. And that was, CureCoin is folding proteins for cancer research. And so like, if we can take this model of creating an economy around what is normally altruistic, we can have people who don't care about the end goal, which is in the end altruistic goal, participating in their own self-interest. And we can realign incentives, because right now, when you donate, you lose all of your money, and this is kind of a discouraging because everyone else wins, and so it's kind of a misaligned incentive that is general. I think that we can fill these holes in the economy that are normally considered externalities. We can actually create an economy around that externality so that good work, so that that's not a problem anymore. Yeah, and it is getting away from donations, but it's actually more like impact investing.
I actually read the article that Jeff wrote about bonding curves, and then
Yeah.
I really understood the example that he made about the trash coin, something like that they want to in the trash somewhere, and someone created a campaign. I think that example was made really clear about the bonding curve, and I understand what you said. I'm sorry, Chris, but thank you for the link.
No problem. It's just indeed like if you read those two articles, you should be up to date with like in what direction we're moving. The second one is also actually goes back to that trash hero coin example. So it's in there as well. What else do we have on the list? Bit I interview questions. I don't know if we already discussed that one, Danny. I think we did because I see I assigned it to Griff.
What is this?
Danny? Yeah, it's an issue that Danny created 14 days ago, 166. Some questions for you, an email request for Griff to answering Google Docs.
Oh, right. Yeah, she pings me like every week, every other week, asks if I have any ability to influence Griff to actually answer those questions because they really want to post your.
Yeah.
It's just out there.
Yeah. It's probably going to be quicker if she does a call with Griff, no?
Exactly. If she really wants it, just like I was kind of turned off when it became something about Bit IRA and I looked them up and it was like taxes or something. So I didn't plan on putting in any energy.
It's kind of what you just said. They're looking for ways to educate people saving for their retirement to do impact investing, to use what they have to do something good, and also
do it in the comments. Get them in.
But I got turned off when it turned into written questions because I know that part of you is your personality, and it's a lot easier to get you on a call. So I'd be happy to shift to that direction if you still want to do it.
Yeah. If she's still bugging you, definitely tell her I will happily hop on a call with her. But
okay.
But it would have to happen in the next 48 or let's say 55 hours, or it probably won't happen, or in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. So Danny's following up on that one. What else do we have? The porting, I still see a new Kai. I don't know if you had time to check this. Porting the post, the Medium post to Ghost.
Not yet. I mean, it's very easy. but we need to make our own instance of Ghost, and that would require another droplet. And I wanted to keep our footprint for extra services low, so I want to reorganize all that into one Docker we run. And that's, I haven't gotten around to that. Probably takes me another few days.
Yeah, no problem. Donation pages, for example, also one that I have to get to that's still in the new column and that hasn't moved. And that's just like working on the frequently asked questions. But we had, for example, we had another like request from TJ Rush, who wanted to do a donation, and I contacted him, sent him the page, and yeah, maybe he hasn't looked at it yet, but I asked him if it was clear to him like how it was built. Now we made some slight little changes after Danny's initial feedback, but it would indeed be good to update the text as well. The other one that's still new is that documentation of the DApp. I see April the 2nd on that one. Josh, I think that was yours, right?
What was now?
The Google funded documentation of the DApp that we needed to
Yeah, I've
for that
still
one.
got that in my to-do list. Yeah, it was April 2nd was the Google's summer of docs, isn't it? Yeah. Still on my to-do list. I've got it there, but it's not been done because I've been trying to get funding article done as far as I'm concerned. But we should really sync on that a bit further, I think, because it sounds like Abby's got one in the process also.
Yeah, that's maybe an next point. Yeah, so for this one, I just wanted to say like just flag it like because I see April the 2nd is a date to apply and or end of April. So just if you want to do it, that it doesn't.
No, that's when you were able to apply. So that's when they opened the doors. But yeah. It's on the list. It's noted anyway, and it will get done.
Great. Okay. Yeah, and then talking about events, there was I already closed some of them. So for the Odyssey hackathon, I don't know, like so I saw like Abby is working on the wiki and on this and that. Griff, do you think it's still like useful to have like a post on like what we actually built at the Odyssey hackathon, and like is all that information now in one place, or what do you think?
Of course, if you're looking for something about, I think our Odyssey hack has a million awesome pictures and stuff like that, and fun stories, and I think there would be somebody from the hack that'd be willing to write it, maybe even Andreas, I don't know, somebody who was there might want to like, I don't even know, is Josh, your post is almost along those lines, right?
My post, I can explain to you what it is. It's the exact format of the TEDx pitch coach on how to create pitches, how to deliver pitches that create communities. But the real goal of it is to generate 3 mil of funding to get a boat and the common stack built, as per the final discussion at the end of thing. We could go with 200,000 as starters, which I reckon's a decent enough thing, but I'm aiming for the stars with this one. I've got my money guy searching for it. He's selling it to a guy called shipbuilder2000@gmail.com, who then places infrastructure around things. So the whole point of that article, though, is to get people to come in, do a bit of writing on it themselves, get their position in. So I've got like SourceCred now who are sharing some stuff with me. I'm going to build out some scaffolding on that for them, and then they can co-create, and then they'll be bought in more on the general frame of everything. And if we can get everyone into a room to write a masterpiece manifesto, I know we've done that before, then they're on a mission. And when people are bought in on a mission, they'll extend their networks to themselves and everyone within that network. So if we can get a whole pile of people with very good networks to co-create an article, then they'll reach out a lot further than if I just write an article. But yeah, it's the point of it is to explain what the common stack is, why we need it, and then raise funding.
Yeah, but
I think
it doesn't really review Odyssey then.
no.
I have a previous article that was about that, but no, it's not really reviewing Odyssey. No.
Yeah.
No, so for it has some bits that can be recycled for like this is what we did at Odyssey. But so yeah, that is a possible task for someone, possibly also me. But it's also we have we have some stories we can tell. We have lots of pictures. We have lots of links. We have interviews that we can integrate in that post. So that's always nice to have a summary, but to have like a good like idea. I have like what we had in the initial thing, the one that you submitted, Griff. Like this is what the 5 teams are gonna do. I have that, so I can recycle that part. But I don't know how much of that actually got built, or if I don't know if it's worth doing. Maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a nice to have. You know, it's more like if someone who's there wants to write it, then awesome. I think it wouldn't have to be that long, and it can recycle that thing that the previous post from whatever it's called, ECF, and just go crazy with pictures and links to some GitHubs.
It could be indeed like an article that is, because the idea of having that article up is just being it a call to action to actually contribute to the GitHub of the common stack and checking out the code and like showing your interest and joining the riot if you want to help work on a common stack now and in the future. So yeah, in that sense, it might be relevant. Okay. So I'll look into that. Question. Yeah. So for your article, so we discussed it a little bit yesterday. So I think for that one, it's probably a little bit, I don't know, but I have a little bit the feeling that for a boat, for people who want to build on future common stack, where Griff is like for the moment getting a pitch deck ready and a story ready to get funding for a specialist group of people, where you're more addressing for people who want to build in the future on the boat on common stack tech, right?
I'm not sure what the question was.
Well, that like Griff is doing a sort of fundraising initiative right now, and it feels that you want to do a sort of fundraising as well with your article, because that's how it ends with like saying we need funds, but it's not for the same thing as what Griff is doing, as far as I get it.
Well, I'm not sure. It probably is. I think we're just a bit out of sync with asynchronous data.
I just think, and I also told you, Josh, I think maybe if you leave that part out and like stop with this love letter to we need everybody and don't include the actual fundraising part, because that's maybe disjointed in that way that most of it is about the heart and the idealistic parts, and it's maybe not be suited for fundraising as much as a targeted thing by Griff or the pitch deck or
possibly. I'd like to touch base more with Gregory about what's going on, and then maybe we can turn it one way or the other. But we probably need to align before we make decisions.
And I think you can do then. But I agree with what Kai said. Is like most of your article is about the why we're doing this and so on. And as I told you, I think it's more of a personal essay that you really should publish. I'm not sure if it fits under Giveth, but you could refer to. I would say indeed sync on it with Griff, but what you could do if you would leave it out is just like put in some links and refer to like, hey, if you're interested in funding and like being part of the initial or the common stack, you can contact us here, and then they can But that's probably going to be indeed a small group. As Griff said, it's probably only like 200 people in the world.
Yeah, for sure. I get the general gist is to raise funds for a specific type of audience. I would say it's pitched generally at them, although the larger inclusivity of the idea is to bring in all the builders. We need everyone building. A commons is everyone, not a specific group is the thing. So we have to be inclusive, radically inclusive, for that reason.
For sure. And I think for that one, when I read that post, a perfect conclusion to me is like join like the Riot group or the Telegram group, and to gather all these people who are interested in this and put like loads of links into it, into everything that already exists. And with that, I would love to help you add lots of more links in there, like I love to do. But I'll wait for you. If you're gonna put it in a Google Doc, as you said, I'll wait to get feedback until you do that.
Cool. Yeah, I'll chuck it in a Google Doc for you now later then.
Perfect. Thanks. Okay, then at Cape Town, so that is done. How was the judging, Griff?
Great. So amazing projects. There were lots of really cool projects, and I got to hang out with all the token bonding curve guys and debate which of these awesome projects to give the funds to. There was this. It was really funny because when we all picked 4 projects, and we all had this one guy who's like a superstar in Ethereum. We all had his project as like one of our top 4, and then we decided to not let him win because he was too good. It wasn't fair. So it was pretty funny. His name, he does Ethers JS, and his name's at RickMoo on Twitter, and so we gave him an honorable like hackathon lifetime achievement award, but then let everybody else who's like more newer to Ethereum and local South African actually place and win.
Nice.
Yeah.
That reminds me of something else that I saw today, and I think it's wasn't it Marco who tweeted about that, about the 3box initiative.
Yes. So 3box is asked me a little bit ago if we wanted to integrate with them for our profiles, and I said, yeah, sure. And so as long as you handle all of the work that it takes to do it. And so actually, is Michael still here? Yeah. So Michael.
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing it up as well.
So Michael, there's a new issue on the GitHub for integrating 3box, and I did put down 100 DAI to make it happen. They put down 100 DAI as well to give someone who's going to try to add 3box into our profiles. And so
Fantastic.
I'll probably make a comment in that GitHub just to make sure that we're aligned on the goals. But I'm pretty sure that'll just be happening in the background.
Super.
Okay. What else do people have on their minds that they want to talk about? Oh, I had a very random question because I just filled in Danny's great survey. So just a reminder for everyone who wants to come to Barcelona for the meetup, please fill in the form that Danny put in communication and in the governance channel as well, so that we can see like who would be interested and what questions you have, what you want to like. Is there a garden in at the office or an outside space?
No.
There is like a telephone booth size outside space. It's like if you wanted to smoke, you could stand in your own little room. That's it.
Okay.
Well, and then we have easy access to the street.
We have a nice big garage with a huge garage door that opens out and lets in fresh air and sun, but no, there's no terrace.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Anything else, Danny, you wanted to say on that one?
Yeah, I'll repost the link to that survey again. I actually made a couple changes to it because I realized I forgot to ask a couple questions like, who are you? And also, after speaking with Marco yesterday, I realized I'm going to also redistribute the survey for DAP feedback. Taking the time right now to start really look at our use cases, um, how we're using it, how our beta users want to use it, and getting some new holistic information for Marco to look at for a strategic rebuild of the DAP. We want to start thinking that way. So we want to assemble the data we have so far, but this is a really, really good time for everybody to really take a look at how you're using the DAP. What are the things that are challenging you? And share that information so we can give Marco everything that we can to look at how to, when we look at redesigning the DAP, to also consider it as part of our entire ecosystem with our website, with our wiki. Where's the right place for all of this information to be? And are we taking into consideration and weighting all of our use cases properly to start designing? So we are in requirements building phase. Let's start gathering information to talk about how are we going to build this better next time. So I'll get both of those links out here in just a moment.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, that on that topic maybe because because you're also here, Michael. I put it in like my wish list for like to do in Barcelona, but of course we can start on it earlier as well. It's like I'm dreaming of some. It can be one article or it can be a series of articles on what we're gonna do with the DAP in the near future. Not over promising, but at least having a bit of a roadmap of what is coming, because we have that huge document that the DAP vision that Griff worked a lot on at some point. I think we can. It would be cool to pick that one up again. And I'd love to have
I completely agree. I think sort of bringing all that together for Barcelona along with sort of this design roadmap, I think makes a lot of sense. So people can also, have some blog articles out, but also have some things that we can be topics for discussion in Barcelona. And I also just wanted to back up on Marco, because I'm not sure if Danny kind of alluded to, one of the things Marco is really interested in is looking at that bigger picture for, sort of the look and feel of the DAP, which again, as Danny said, sort of ties into the website. So one of the other things we're doing now is basically we're creating a separate design sprint. So for the DAP, we have sort of the, weekly bugs and things like that, but often issues around user interface get bumped down because we're just dealing with bugs. So we're kind of creating a separate sprint around that. So part of that call will be around this bigger picture work that Mark is going to be working on. And then the other part of that call will be looking at addressing some of the design functionality that people are commenting on. So Marco's going to be part of that and almost like a lead in terms of that roadmap of what it's going to look like. And then I just engaged Sergey, thanks to Josh. And also where sort of the long term is this proposal with the Nepalis regarding UNICEF. But what we're going to do in the short term, because those grants take a while and we don't know if we're going to get them, but to get them involved with us now to take on one or two issues. So we're going to have, I talked to them this week, and we'll have one or two of their devs to kind of help us and just kind of throw a couple of the design related issues to them to help fix those. And that's going to be kind of part of this design sprint. And we haven't agreed exactly on when that's going to take place, because we'll have to see. We're dealing with sort of major time zone issues with Nepal, but we'll figure that out and post that. Cool.
Thanks for that super important update. Yeah, and I guess indeed, like I think that survey relaunching that, I don't know if I ever filled it in, Danny, but it would be good indeed, like to make sure that all of the core users have filled that one out, so that you
Please,
have
Yeah, I
all.
did.
please do that. I beg you. We need that information.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I got
Critical.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 responses on it right now. So I'm gonna clean it up and send it out to you all. Yeah, and I wanna just add one more note to what Michael was sharing, and we mentioned, like, I want, when you think about the DApp right now and when you're using it and creating issues, think about whether this is something that you're experiencing right now with just this legacy app, and think about it like that, and then think about, is this something that I want to make sure carries forward? Because as we prioritize issues that we find, we want to look at, is this something that's just hindering me from operating optimally in this DApp, this legacy DApp we have right now? Or is this something that needs to be translated into the requirements? Often it'll be both, but I think it'll help if we think about things that way.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Before this meeting ends, there are two topics that I think need to be brought up. Number one, Andreas has a kind of a presentation, and I want to give you space to talk about that, Andreas. And then number two, I think Jeff may have some like posts that he wants to publish or something along those lines. Andreas, do you want to say what?
Correct. So I heard from Sean Conway that he's presenting. He was presenting today at an impact investment forum
He mentioned
held
us.
in London. Yes. So I thought it might be a good idea to send over an email and see if I can join in with him. Lo and behold, on Tuesday morning, an email came back. Yeah, can you present on Thursday? So I did a presentation back in. It seems to be the way forward. Just go last minute. There must be some space somewhere. Um, I did a presentation at the Lucerne University in February. I spoke about our charity GraceAid and how we use Giveth and what we intend to do, which is potentially going to go in the back burner if we're building a DApp version 3 or Giveth 3, 3 or 2, up to.
We'll start with 2. Yeah.
So there is an opportunity there. First of all, to talk about what we do as a charity, ask for investment. People might want to invest in a charity that wants to build technology. Obviously, the charity can't build any technology, so Giveth will be the essentially the technology vehicle. Giveth to the commons, you name it. If any funding comes up, then I would like to use the charity as a vehicle to move that forward. I don't know if that will come to anything, but there's definitely enough interest from that sort of sector, the impact investment sector. So yeah, that's tomorrow afternoon.
Cool. And do you have enough information? Do you have the link to like some of the Giveth slides, or do you want these?
No, I don't have the Giveth slides. What I created was, it's very Grace centric, and oh no, it's not me. It's very Grace centric, with Giveth being promoted as, these guys have done it and we use it, sort of thing. Sean has already spoken about Giveth, IXO, the Commons, so I'm trying to avoid any overlap. I haven't seen his presentation though, but I'll send you the link, Chris, to my Google Slides document if you want to have a look and let me know. The only thing that I need to note for everybody is that in there, I'll share it with everybody, obviously. There's a company called Ocean, who is a French company. It's a startup. They deal with blockchain enterprise infrastructure automation, if that makes sense. But basically, whoever wants to deal with a blockchain project, they can't really do it because they haven't got the resources. So they're creating a product to throw into the enterprise in an easy, scalable manner. Anyway, they're offering. They're not offering. I made them do stuff for free for me, mainly for the charity. They're fans of Giveth, and they're looking to put maybe 8 to 10% of their development time to whatever might be useful. At the moment, so far, since probably September last year, hasn't been very easy. They're just running around like headless chickens, like everybody. But I'm hoping to get them to work with us. Even if it is advice. I mean, at the moment for the charity, they're willing to do stuff for free. There's just nothing to do. I think that's it.
Yeah, that would be great. Of course, send them our way. And yeah, I had the same question as Josh. If that is Ocean as an Ocean Protocol that we met. No, okay.
It's OCYAN.
Okay.
Completely different. They get it a lot, but once you see it written, it's okay.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, enjoy that presentation. That sounds great.
Well, the aim is to promote, and if that means some sort of investment, some sort of money, then we can discuss it. It's just not out there right now, so by utilizing Grace, I'm pushing whatever I can.
Cool. Nice stuff. There was a second point, Griff, or is that or?
Second point is if Jeff, are you around? Do you want to talk about the articles you're trying to push, or if you're needing support on those?
Yeah, he wanted to jump on some calls with me, or on a call with me, but he was trying to get back to me.
Yeah, he's somewhere in the house, but I don't know. But
he's hiding. He's hiding.
Oh, he was outside. Hold on. I think that. Oh, what? We can just let it go for another time. We've hit the top.
Okay. Well, don't hesitate to tell him like, hey, you were gonna jump on a call with Chris. He's waiting for you. He misses you. Just
okay.
Do pass on the message. He didn't get back to me yesterday. Okay. Then indeed, like to stay in the time, unless someone still has a pressing topic that they wanted to discuss. Okay, then we're just gonna do a quick checkout. So thank you all for joining. It's fantastic when so many people are joining. So please join every week. You're extremely welcome. There are, as you can see, there's always some little things that pop up and opportunities. So whatever you do, there might be not immediately something you can do, but there's sure stuff that you can contribute to. So thanks. And yeah, most of the people like Andreas that's going to share the presentation and communication and so on, stuff like that. Like just give your feedback and I can give you guys points. So thank you for doing that. Same for for example, the article that Josh just shared and so on. And I give it to someone else, to Josh. And thanks for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, it was good to see everyone. Don't really have much to say. Help me write an article. Otherwise, I'll pass it over I'll go left of my screen to Griff.
Yeah, great meeting. So good to see so many new faces in this call. It was really fun. It was epic. I will pass it to Lorelei.
I don't have much to check out with, but thank you guys. It was nice to see these faces, and I'm so excited to hear Marco and Paslar both just jumping at it to help out with beautifying the common stack. And Danny, did you check out? Danny?
I did not. I'm here. Wait, am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
So my action items I'll follow up with just momentarily. Probably going to take a little nature day tomorrow and not be online. But everybody who's on this call, as you know, I really love to be occupying those spaces in between. So if you have questions or anything, always reach out to me. Love seeing everybody engaging more here and really excited. I feel like there's more energy kicking up, and I like that. And I'll pass it over to Marco.
Thanks, Danny. Well, great call. Thanks for everyone. A lot of information from that I heard. A lot of stuff going on. Super excited about it. And what else? Well, next 2 days is Block Split conference. I'm here in Split, my hometown, doing that thing, and then moving back to Zagreb. And yeah, excited to move forward with the great stuff around Giveth. So thanks everyone for this call.
Cool. We still have Kai, I think. Yeah.
Holy shit, I didn't even know that point can be addressed with many handles, Griff. Nice hack there. Thank you guys for a truly awesome epic meeting. And yeah, more to come. See you tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks all for joining. Talk to you later. Thanks so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Check
everyone.
out? I feel like Michael didn't
Oh,
go.
Michael, sorry.
Oh,
I think that might be true.
Oh,
That's okay.
and Andreas.
I'll just say thanks to everybody. It was a great to see everybody and great facilitation, Chris, as always.
oh, and Andrea, sorry, we missed you too. Going too quick.
Oh, it's a pleasure to join you whenever I can. Thank you all for being so welcoming. I'm not always available. I'm sorry.
Who else did we miss? I'm sure.
Good to see you.
I think potentially as well.
Did we have everyone now? Marco, did you go? Yeah, you went. Okay, I think we have everyone now. Okay.
Okay.
Because no one remembered me, so I just want to thank you, everyone. And
Too bad. Bad facilitator, Chris.
part of this every time, yeah. And then no, Chris has done a lot for me lately. I'm gonna be in contact with Danny a lot, and then text I think Marco for the designs, and then we're gonna get into a discussion and then see what we can do together. And we're gonna create two new campaigns on Giveth, and I'm sure one of them is really exciting for all of us.
Awesome.
Great. Okay.
Cool.
Did we have everyone now? Did we cover everyone?
More than normal.
I
isn't
think
it?
Okay. So we can call it. Thank you so much, guys, for joining.
See you around.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.